Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending where you are. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here today, co-creating together this holy encounter, which is an expression of the unity between heaven and earth, between our divine reality and our humanity. Thank you for allowing this portal of the new to be co-created in union and relationship in the presence of our Divine Mother. Thank you for being here. And as we always do, I'm going to say hello to each of you as an act of acknowledging our uniqueness. Our Divine Mother invites us constantly to love who we are, to love our humanity as it is, so we can begin experiencing the unconditional love, loving ourselves. So thank you, Thierry, Donald, and also Joe, Karen, Adriana, Jeannie, Yogi Chris, Peter, Lena, Angela, Jennifer, and also I would like to say hello to Julia, who is just joining us, and those who are going to join us later on in this gathering or through the videos that we share. We all receive the divine grace in these gatherings, no matter whether you are here now in this time and space or you join this energy, this portal of the new, the videos that we share through social media or in other ways. Again, thank you for making this possible. And we are here now in the presence of our Divine Mother. So, just as an act of being connected to the purpose of this session, I would like to remind us what our Divine Mother says related to each holy encounter, including this one. Our Divine Mother told me once that every time that there is a holy encounter, she would be present. And that is what happens here. It is given to me the gift of being able to see at the beginning of each session how heaven is open and a multitude of angels comes to us singing a song of gratitude to God the Creator for giving us existence. Within the beauty of that canticle of gratitude, our Divine Mother comes to us in the form of Mother Mary, Immaculate Mother Mary. And when she comes to us, we receive one particular grace, which is the embrace of Mary. We receive a personal hug from our Divine Mother, a hug that goes to our soul. No matter whether we feel it or not, our soul knows perfectly well who is in front of it, and we always receive the grace that we need, the miracle that we are asking for. We always receive that from our Divine Mother in these sessions. At the end of the holy encounter, it is given to me again the gift of listening through the ears of my spirit, the canticle of gratitude coming from the angels. That canticle is manifested in every single aspect of creation. It is the expression of gratitude that we, as extension of the divine love, manifest constantly as a response to the divine love that gives us life, existence, and reality. And when that happens, our Divine Mother returns back to heaven in all her glory, purity, and sanctity, and we receive the second gift, which is the gift of an angel. That angel comes to us to help us to accomplish our purpose in life, which is knowing who we are, remembering our true identity. Angels are here to help us in so many different ways, and one of those ways is to help us to know us in the same way that God knows us. We have been created to be what God created us to be. However, we have different ideas about what we are, and those ideas are disconnected from the truth and creates suffering. Those ideas create all kind of illusions, pain, guilt, and that is the reason why we came to this earthly kingdom, to remember who we are. And that is why angels help us to recover the memory, the remembrance of our true identity in God. There is a remembrance in our heart, a knowledge that nothing and no one can take away from us. And that is the knowledge of who you are, who you truly are. And that is what angels can do for us. Help us to remember, to discover the beauty of who you are. We all receive the gift of an angel in every session that we come here, and that angel remains next to us, constantly waiting to be invited so we can be served by the love of the angel. In order to organize these holy encounters, we divide them into three sections. The first one is dedicated to silence. Silence is very important to reconnect with our inner peace. So we dedicate a few minutes to remain at peace, to find a moment in which we can take distance from all our worries, all our beliefs, all our interpretations. We take distance from whatever we believe about ourselves, about others, about life, about God. We rest in peace in the arms of our Divine Mother. We give her everything in our life so we can be able to receive the revelation of the truth in our mind, heart, and body. We come here to experience the inner peace, to rest in the stillness of nothingness, in which the love that we truly are is revealed again to us. Love has no words, so when we go to the silence of our heart, we remember with no words, but with the knowledge that constitutes our reality. And when we do that, we remember our holiness, innocence, purity. And because of that, we reconnect our humanity with the divine energy, the divine consciousness, the flow of the divine grace. And that grace embraces our humanity, our body, mind, heart, and also it is extended to every single aspect of creation. So we also come here and we dedicate time to silence in order to heal the world, to heal our wounds and others. We are one mind, one heart, one holy being. So every time that we reconnect with the divine grace, we heal the collective as well as our singular story. We allow our Divine Mother to extend the divine grace through us as channels of the light of love. The second part of these holy encounters is dedicated to spiritual reading, so we can remember who we are through listening to the voice of love that talks constantly in our heart, listening is extremely important to co-create together the new earthly kingdom. Our Divine Mother encourages us to listen, to honor silence so we can listen. Listen to her talking to you, and listen to you talking to her. The third part and the longest part of these encounters is dedicated to sharing. So we can share whatever we think or we feel related to the text that we read or any experience related to it, either remaining in silence for the whole session or using your voice. You can ask questions, you can share experiences related to the text that we are going to receive today, or you can just flow with the wind of inspiration that you receive. Everything is going to be embraced by love. Before moving ahead, I would like to organize the reading section and say hello to also Alice, who just joined us, Mark, David, Junan, and Sarah. Thank you for joining us today. And we are going to share from The Age of the Heart, chapter number 6, the the last subtitle, which is called Heaven is Here. If for any reason this chapter is not long enough for the readers, we can keep going with the next chapter. This is on page 69. Again, we are going to read Heaven is Here from chapter number 6, coming from The Age of the Heart on page 69, I'm sorry. If there is anyone who wants to read today, please let me know so we can organize the reading section. Thank you. So, Rika, we have Ginny, Peter, Yogi Chris, and Jennifer. Joe, that was just um, you did something. I mean, something appeared. Okay, what does it mean?
What did
That you
I
are
do? I
happy
was
or
trying to
you want
raise
to
my
read?
hand.
What did you say?
I was trying to raise my hand, but it didn't
Okay,
work. Oh, here you go. There we go. Was that it?
that's
Yeah,
funny.
that's
So
sorry.
thank you very much. So we also have Joe, who already said this is wonderful so many times. So thank you. And we have Sarah. So Joe and Sarah, and I think we are all set. Um, Again, we have Ginny, Peter, Joey, Chris, Jennifer, Joe, and Sarah. As we always do, I'm going to begin with the first paragraph, and then we keep going with the sequence of the readers, which is already posted in the chat room. If for any
Excuse,
reason when you have, go ahead,
excuse,
Joey.
thank you. Excuse me, Sebastian. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to read. The only challenge, and I apologize, I don't have the book. I was wondering if you could put the information at the screen here, but if you can, I really can't contribute to the reading because at this time I don't have a book.
Thank you, Joey, for that comment, because it allows us to remember and remind us that we always share the text on the screen. So it's going to appear in this way, as we always do. So if you don't have the book, there's no problem. You can come to these holy encounters anyway, because we are always going to share it in this way. Can you see the screen in this way?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay. I think we can go bigger. Oh, no, that's too big. So don't worry. Be happy. Just be happy. Thank you, Matt, for being here. Also, Ruben, thank you for joining us today. And Titina as well.
Uh,
So, as we,
Sebastian, let me make one
yes,
quick announcement before we start
absolutely.
that,
We'll go ahead.
that may be of interest to everyone. A week from Sunday, on October 19th, our special guest at the Center for Contemporary Mysticism will be Alice Friend, who is with us today. And she is going to be
Wonderful.
our honored guest for an interview and a program together on Sunday afternoon, the 19th at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. So, as you know, she's such a wonderful spirit and a wonderful part of our community together. And I know that those of you in this group will want to be there because she's going to be talking about in love, there is no separation, and talking about communing with loved ones who are no longer in the body. So, how in the world could you not be interested in that? And of course, she'll be sharing her own experiences not only with their son who passed some years ago, David, and her recently beloved who passed within a year or so, Rod, who's been a member of this. So she's going to have a wonderful program on a week from Sunday, the 19th. And I will put the registration link in the chat. You can also go to contemporarymysticism.org and register, but I'll put that in there. But I know that everyone here would love to spend a little time with Alice on a week from Sunday afternoon. So, Alice, we're looking forward to it, my love. And so we know we'll have a good group joining you on that afternoon. So I'll turn the mic back over, and I will put the link where you can register to be part of that Zoom meeting a week from Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Joe, for that wonderful information. Thank you, Alice, for what you are going to do for us and for everything that you do for this earthly kingdom to bring the light of the truth. I'm so looking forward to uh, participating in that gathering. I clicked on the link that you sent just to make sure that it is working. Okay, here we go. So if you don't mind,
Joe, I would like to share that on the screen, just because there are some people who watch the video and they don't have access to the chat room. Do you think it's a good idea? You're muted. I can feel your heart, but I need to listen your voice. You are muted, Joe.
Oh, you got the link, I'm
Oh.
assuming. That you could
So,
share.
shall I share that? I mean, I would like to share like this. So
Yeah.
people who, okay. So here is the invitation.
Yeah.
Here is the link. Also, you can find this on the website, and we encourage you to go through this so you can check and register. And that's just gonna be Sunday, October 19th. So thank you, Joe, for allowing us to share this information on the screen. So our brothers and sisters who are, joining us through the videos can see it clearly and go to the website and participate in Alice's presence. So
Thank you.
beautiful. So thank you. And thank you, Alice, again. And thank you, Joe, for everything that you do. Thank you. I had the honor to facilitate one session in The Hague, in Netherlands last week with Patricia Pierce, which is part of our community, and she does many things, many wonderful things with you. And I just wanted to share that with you. It was an incredible, great gift for me to spend 5 days with her and to facilitate together. So I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you. So now I invite you to remain for a few minutes in silence to connect with the stillness of our heart. Take distance from all our worries, all our interpretations and beliefs. Nothing that we believe is the truth. The truth. Nothing is true that comes from the separate mind. So we can rest in peace in the mystery, embracing the unknown. I will also invite you to listen to music that will help us to, it can help us to connect with our heart if we listen with our soul. Music has an energy, a language that helps us to remember the music of our soul. Heaven is here. Beloved of my divine heart, this work has been written from the realm of no time for each one of you who receive it in time. By welcoming it with love and openness of heart, you extend it into universal consciousness. Your yes to love has brought you together with divine power. Because of this, a power that is beyond all possible worldly understanding and imagination flows from the source of eternal life to you and from your center to all created things. Together we are opening consciousness so the light of Christ shines as never before in the world. You will see how it grows and grows until it becomes a radiant sun which no one can fail to recognize as the source of their being.
Become one with the peace of God. Do not look for anything else. In it you will obtain not only the treasures of the kingdom, but everything necessary for the new earthly kingdom to shine in all its beauty and holiness. Never forget that peace is the calling and sign of the age of the heart, which has already begun in humanity. Trust in its benevolence, in its divine power, and in its holy face. It and only it will bring love in all its breadth to dwell forever on earth as it is in heaven.
The age of the heart will not be based on intellectual flow. The path, which was called the age of reason, has just ended to give way to these new times, in which the unity of the soul will express itself as never before. It will bear witness to the to the union of mind and heart in perfect unity with Christ. What can be deduced through mental learning will not occupy the central place it previously did, although it will be valuable as long as it serves to manifest love.
In the peace of God, you will find the eternal wisdom that lives in your being, and you will act from it. For this reason, it is fair to say that the age of the heart will be an age of the wise, not the learned, or of divine lovers, not of romantics, a time in which the divine spirit will be heard in the depths of each soul without interference. Out of it, the new heaven and the new earth will emerge in due time. Pass.
I can never emphasize enough the importance of staying in peace. When you create an inner space to welcome peace, you're expanding universal consciousness. This enlargement allows creation to reach a greater knowledge of the love of God, and with it to live in the truth.
Can you now realize the importance of peace? Through it, not only do you feel better about yourself, but you renew the earth and allow the love of Christ to flow from divine being into creation. I ask you with humility and gentleness to make peace your only treasure. Give it your hearts. Give the sweet presence of it to every step you walk. Take it wherever you go, so that it can heal the hearts that still need healing, clarify the minds still asleep in the dream of oblivion, and expand any consciousness not yet open to the eternal novelty of love.
Embrace the mystery so that the breadth of your minds and hearts, always united to Mother, Father, God, can touch the truth. For this, it is necessary to live in peace. Disharmony causes confusion and leads the soul to the terrain of conflict, all of which prevents its full attention to what sustains its reality, the truth of what it is. Truly, truly, I tell you that the new will be born of peace.
Thank you very much for giving your voice to these words. And now we have the rest of the session to share any experience or thought or question or whatever you feel moved to share related to this message that we have received from the Age of the Heart. And as we always do, I'm going to begin sharing what I received related to that, just as a bridge to an open dialogue. And here, our Divine Mother, through this message, is reminding us the importance of peace. She said several times, do not do anything against your inner peace, no matter whether that is important or essential. And that was a very significant criteria of discernment for me, because I realized that if we take the inner peace as our main goal, our main reality, the most important thing in our life, we begin to walk in the direction of the divine love. And that gives a deep, deep sense of purpose to our human life. Here, our Divine Mother is giving us the horizon of our humanity, a purpose, a reference for our thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, and not actions. Everything that we do has a purpose. Maybe we are not aware of that, but every action that we do is a manifestation of something that is before, something that comes before the expression. And according to our Divine Mother, that is the decision that you make before creating any manifestation, whether you want to extend peace or fear, peace or conflict, love or fear, illusion or truth. Once we take the inner peace as our main goal in life, everything changes, not only for us, but also for everyone. We can experience that in our life, in our family, homes, neighborhoods. Sometimes we can see ourselves in a situation in which we are discussing things with others. That could be our partner or friend or a son or a daughter or another person walking down the street. Discussions, constantly creating discussions. And those discussions, for me, it was very interesting to watch that, because sometimes we can discuss so hard and for a long time with other person, and we think, well, maybe we are trying to tell the other person that we are in the right side and the other person is not in the right side. So we need to argue, we need to discuss, and finally we lost our inner peace. So here our Divine Mother asks a very important question, at least for me. What do you want? Do you want peace or to win? Do you want peace or to be clever? Do you want peace or to be the best person in the world? Those kind of questions help us to remember, I choose peace in every circumstances of my life. That is the invitation that our Divine Mother is extending to us today. I choose peace. And that is not just something that works for the interaction with other person, means within relationships with others, but also it has an effect in our inner world. When we begin to experience thoughts that are taking away the inner peace from us, we can say, I choose peace. So these thoughts are not going to be part of my experience. I don't need to listen to any other voice except for the voice of truth, which is always bringing peace. So when we feel like we lost our harmony, our inner peace, our joy, our sense of gratitude and deep sense of purpose in life, when we feel that, we can say, well, I forgot that my purpose is peace. And I return to the inner peace. I choose peace in any circumstances of my life. Peace is my treasure, is my goal and my reality. We can today remember this and say again, I choose peace first and only peace. I strongly believe this message is very, very important, because a lot of pain in our human existence comes from losing, the capacity of choosing peace in any circumstances of our life. When we don't choose peace, we choose conflict. So here in this message, our Divine Mother says that in order to experience the inner peace and to extend it, we need to embrace the mystery of life. Embracing mystery can help us to remain at peace. So for me, finally, we can live constantly connected to the inner peace as much as we trust. Embracing mystery means that we trust. We don't know, but we trust. We trust in our Divine Mother. We trust in our soul. We trust in our mind and heart. We trust in our brothers and sisters. We trust in everything with unconditional trust. So we can rest in peace, in the certainty that beyond our understanding, there is a divine intelligence, a divine mind and heart that is moving everything. We rest in peace when we achieve the certainty that our life belongs to God. We are in His hands, and everything is going to be okay. Everything will be all right. Not because of what our thinking mind thinks or understands, but because we belong to our Divine Mother, and she is in charge. And what else we can receive from her except for Christ? That is the gift, and that is what we always receive from our Divine Mother. So there is no reason to be afraid, because we have a Divine Mother. We trust, so we live in peace. We extend peace to wherever we go as a gift. And here there is a question. Why our Divine Mother is so interested on helping us to live in peace? It's not just because that makes us feel better, but she says, because wherever peace is, love goes with it. So every time that we connect with our inner peace, we are calling the divine love to be part of our experience. Every time that we try to be at peace in any circumstances of our life, we allow the divine love to be extended through us. So the key message of this text is be at peace, no matter what's going on around you. Be at peace. And the peace that comes from the certainty that you belong to your Divine Mother. And God has the control. So love is managing your life and everyone's life. Be at peace, no matter what's going on around you. Be at peace. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. And I think Joey Chris wants to say something. Please, Joey, go ahead. And thank you.
My goodness, that was so beautiful. It left me speechless, or in that silence without words, speechless. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I really appreciate the words that we read in the paragraph to your book, Sebastián. One of the things that I do is I claim ownership of what resonates for me. And so much of what you read resonates for me. So if you state, I don't have the words in front of me, but if you state in the book, oh, thank you. Thank you. So, for example, on your yes to love has brought you together with divine power, I will claim that for myself. I'll say, I appreciate that I said yes to love that has brought me together in oneness with my divine power. So in a meditative state of being present, I'll affirm that for myself. Another example, I appreciate my power that is beyond all possible worldly understanding and imagination, which flows from my source of eternal life within me. Now, when I do that, if there's any remnants of resistance to that, it'll come up because the illusory self does not like these powerful words that you put on this book. My goodness. So when I was sponsored by a sponsor in 12 Steps, when I used to read my book, I used to really know the book intellectually. But one of the things that he said was, are you owning that experience? Are you saying that for yourself and experiencing the words? I said, no. He says, try that. Because, and I share this with my mentees and sponsees. I say, I want you to experience this. Yes. And when they share and quote and repeat words, I said, wow, you really know this. You've read it, I could tell. But I encourage experiential wisdom, not the hearing it from someone leads me as a pointer to what I want to experience within me. Reading it in a book points to what the experience I want to experience within me. It's applying what the words are saying in my life and experiencing, for me, that true wisdom expresses. So that's why I claim ownership to these loving words. Today's lesson in A Course in Miracles is right in alignment with this. It says, what limits can I lay upon God's Son? To me, that means what non-peaceful perceptions with accompanying reactions can I lay upon the peace that I am? So I will say that in words. I will say, for example, I who my source created me limitless and free now. And that is what that is pointing to. And that is what I will proclaim for myself. Sounds selfish, huh? I don't think so. I'm complete.
Thank you, Joey, Chris, very much for what you share. And I think you are expressing the essence of what all the revelation that I receive brings. Because I say this because Jesus said several times, these words are yours. Means your and any other who has, you know, the connection with those words. You are expressing those words. And sometimes our intellectual mind reads everything in a certain level, and we think that any words that we read with our intellectual mind is outside of the mind, and we need to understand and we need to elaborate whatever comes in those words. However, Jesus says the new is the age of the heart, and humanity will be able to read more and more with the heart, which means to become one with the words that are receiving. And in the moment that you are reading these words, you are literally a receiver. You are making real those words when they are, you know, together with you. So I would say claiming these words as yours is not an act of being selfish, but it's an act of living by the truth. Because there might be a reason why these words come to us. So we can read with our heart these words and any other words that come from the Holy Spirit. We can bring them into our heart, and we will find a lot of meanings in those words that will help us to remember. Finally, Jesus says, we are one mind, one heart, and one holy being. So these words are here just because we as a collective being allowed that to be manifested. So we are part of those words. So these words are yours as they are mine, and they are also part of the collective. So I think you are expressing what Jesus tries to share with us when he explains this new way of receiving the inspiration that is part of the new. We don't need to read with our intellectual mind. We need now to read with the heart and to become one with these words. And finally, he says the reason why this is new is not just because of the gate to access to the words, moving from our mind to our heart, but it is because you are going to be able to read the frequency, to understand the energy of the words that you are receiving. And you will be more and more able to distinguish between the energy of love and other energies. But it is a matter of energy. It's not a matter of understanding with our intellectual mind. So we are going to be able to open our heart more and more and to return to the stage of being expert of identifying the energies of manifestation. And that energy is what is going to create the big transformation. The reason why these words exist is because they bring an energy that can become one with us. And when we allow that to happen, when we allow these words to touch our heart and become one with them, we allow the divine energy to transform our humanity. Because words are always an energy. And we can, allow that energy to bring the love that these words are pretending and trying to give us. So I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for your expression, which I believe is perfectly in harmony with what Jesus says related to these revelations and to the revelations that we are going to receive from now on in humanity. They will be in this, frequency, the frequency of the energy of love transformed into human words. So our hearts will be able to receive that energy and that frequency. So thank you very much. And thank you also for listening to me. And something else that I would like to share, Joey, Chris, about what you shared is something that our Divine Mother gave me several years ago in one of the dialogue. She said at that moment, as your mother, I'm going to teach you how to read spiritual readings. And she said, no matter whether it is the Bible or any other spiritual text, just read it and feel whatever you are feeling when you are reading, be connected with your feelings. And if there is one word or sentence or paragraph, or maybe the whole text, when there is something that touches your heart, just remain there and make it yours. And keep it in your mind and your heart for the rest of the day. And I think that is what you are doing when you mention that there are some, sentences or phrases that you claim to be yours. That was exactly what our Divine Mother wanted me to do, and I began to read in that way. When I listen to someone talking from the divine wisdom or read something, or maybe it could be a music, a song, or something like that, we can go to our heart and try to see whether there is a word, sentence, phrase, or paragraph, or the whole text that touches your heart, and remain there, because there might be a reason why your heart is moved to that expression. And when we do that, we find a lot of wisdom and we discover a lot about ourselves. I just wanted to share that with you because I thought it was beautiful to listen what you shared. Because it reminds me what our Divine Mother told me in that dialogue. So thank you for that reminding and that reminder to me. Thank you.
Is it possible for me to add something? I don't see where I could raise my hand.
Yeah, yes, go ahead, Matt.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the language of the heart, I also see in my life as being growing. It's there's a similarity in language, although very different. Just how some societies used hieroglyphics or pictographs, and some societies used ABCs and letters. The pictograph could, a picture can say 1,000 words, and a letter of an alphabet, maybe says 1 or 2 words. And it's the analogy is like that the heart, instead of just the head, as a communication device, can deal, in my experience, in tremendous symbolism, and can take a hurricane, for example, from labeling it as destructive to being instructive, where you can see wisdom in many ways, shapes, or forms, and parallels. The language of symbolism in the heart, it just seems like such a great stepping stone towards living the resurrection instead of the continuation of crucifixion. And I also see the necessity of maintaining the intention of divine oneness, even when we agree that this language of the heart is more true and more closely aligning us to truth than an old way of communication with simply the head. Although there was a time when the head was the best thing going, and maybe not so much now. But like the head, when we did use just scripture, for example, Old Testament, New Testament, like the head space we were in some time ago, it was used for aligned direction as well as misaligned direction. And I've also seen where, because sometimes the language of the heart can be confused with emotion, that there are things for our discernment to be aware of. Again, back to what is our alignment to intention? So when we use the heart, there are communication devices in the human world that play upon the manipulation of the emotions. Senses of fear and urgency, for example, can feel as if it's coming from not just a headspace, but an interior space like the heart. And but when one takes a look at where their intention is set, is it in separation or in union? The clarity of the heart becomes much more apparent. And so I just say that to say, in this day and age, especially if you watch the TV, you can see many politicians using the appeal tactics of emotion rather than fact and intellect, to persuade people into belief patterns that may not serve them in terms of their life of abundant joy, and which is available to us. So again, it just comes right back down to the intention to not have any idols in this world, and no matter what greater or lesser form of communication we find in our evolution of consciousness, the truth still holds that the intention of what is it that I want to be aligned with God, keeps us safe and true, whether it's the alphabet or hieroglyphics. I'm complete, thanks.
Thank you, Matt, very, very much for what you shared and for reminding us the language of the heart, which is, according to our Divine Mother, something that we need to relearn how to, listen to our heart and to remember that language. Is like and old language that we just forgot when we forgot who we truly are. So I think it is important to be gentle with our process, with our soul, because we are learning or relearning how to listen to our heart, how to distinguish between, these thousands and millions of ideas and voices that are in our mind and heart, that creates, confusion, and it doesn't allow us to listen deeply to our heart. That's why silence is so important for our Divine Mother, because we are in a society, as you pointed out before, we are in a society in which we are receiving too much, information, too much energy from different angles, and we need to cultivate the silence, time of silence during the day, so we can begin listening. Our Divine Mother says, in order to listen, you have to remain in silence. Otherwise, you cannot listen. And that is why silence is so important. So we can listen. Listen to the beauty of who you are. And listen to a song that was forgotten, but can be remembered. And in order to re-listen to that song, we need to cultivate silence. And I use this expression because there is a question in the chat room that comes from Isabella. She said that she can't be for the whole session because she has to go to work. She has to work, actually. But she says, I leave the question here, and that question is, why do you say that music is who we are? That's why you say that. Music is who we are. And I say that because it's the truth. We are music. When I discovered that based on the revelation that I received, it was very significant for me, because I realized that we as human beings can create music, can enjoy music, can listen music, can experience music, just because that music lives in our heart. Everything that we do is a manifestation of what we are. If there is music in this world, it is because you are music. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to manifest that. And when we remember that, we will begin to listen to the music of our heart. There is music in our soul. It is not a music that is like the music that we listen with our bodily senses, but it is a music that it is expressed in spiritual frequency. And if we think about this, we can understand why all the revelations that I receive come through music. Music of the soul, heavenly music, which is a frequency that comes to us and we can recognize with all its beauty and rhythm, and we can remember the music of creation. Everything in creation it is immersed into that music, into the music of love. Love is also music. We are music. That's why we can dance, we can sing, we can create music. And finally, when we discover that we are music, we can begin to also understand that we all can create music just because we are music. So sometimes we feel like, oh, because I'm not an expert, I'm not a musician, so I cannot express music. But that is simply not true. You can create your own music if you want. It will sound and it will be expressed in your own way. And because of that, it's going to be beautiful, according to our Divine Mother. It is, you know, Isabella, when a little child draw any painting or create any drawing to the mother, because it is maybe the Mother's Day or her birthday, and the little child brings that to the mother keeps it as it is an art. In fact, sometimes they keep those paintings on the refrigerator, you know, to be seen, because that mother feels the beauty of that expression, not just in the form, but in the intention coming from her son or her daughter. Same happens with our music. The music of our heart exists, and it is a frequency, and we can express that with our life, with music in a traditional way or not, but we can certainly create our own music. Everyone can create that music. And why this is important? Well, it is important because when we connect with the music of our heart, we begin to be free to express ourselves. We are so attached to be politically correct in so many different ways that we lose, you know, being spontaneous and authenticity. And that is what our Divine Mother wants to help us to recover. She says, sing, dance, give a hug, express yourself, always with love. So she uses that expression, sing and dance, so we can be connected with the music that we are. I hope I answer your question, Isabella, and this is going to be recorded, so even if you cannot listen to that right now, you can maybe watch the video later on. And I thank you for that question, because I believe it's a universal question. Means that sometimes we don't remember that there is music in our heart, but yes, there is. And when you recover the connection with that music, which is a vibration, which is an energy that creates rhythms, you will be connected with the joy of being who you are, the uniqueness of your expression. And you will give to the earthly kingdom and to heaven the beauty of your music, which is the beauty of being who you are. Our Divine Mother and also Jesus uses many times the following expression in the revelations received. They say, sing a new song. they use that expression several times. And finally, I think we should sing and dance much more than what we do as human beings. And thank you for listening to me. And by the way, that is the reason why we always hear music in our sessions, face to face or through Zoom. Music is always part of our gatherings, and it is because we know the power of healing, transformation, and remembrance that music can do for us. Music is extremely important to remember who we are. Thank you, Isabella, again. And I think Jennifer wants to say something. Please, Jennifer, go ahead. And I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you, Sebastian and Chris and Matt and Isabella for your sharing and your questions and our dialogue and for everyone being here. I can feel the energy, all of you coming off of many of you being together there in Europe. So thank you for bringing all that love with you back to us. I just wanted to comment on the topic of this passage about inner peace, and you're bringing up its importance. And I feel inner peace is one of the most important things that we can embody and embrace for so many reasons. I remember a time when I was in the corporate world and, had my highest title position in a Fortune 500 company. And I got to a point in my career and in my life where all I wanted was peace, because I was so opposite of living in peace that life almost became unbearable. So sometimes we have to go to that extent to come to the realization of how can I find that inner peace. And I feel like this is almost what the world is going through right now, is that opposite of peace, to come to the realization, how can we find inner peace within ourselves, within our communities. And what I can say, it has taken me 20 years to find that inner peace. And even in the midst of all the adversity here in Los Angeles and in this country and in the world, this year I have found more love and inner peace in my heart. And when I'm there, it's like you don't even want to come out. You just want to, in that stillness, in that quiet space, when that wave of inner peace envelops you, it is so pure and it is so beautiful and it's so anchoring and grounding in who we are. And when we know who we are and we bring it out into the world, it's just and share it with others, our inner peace, our love, our truth, our expression, our self-expression. It's just such a beautiful thing. And I feel that as humanity comes to how can we find peace within ourselves, and we have more of a collective of people aligned to peace and love and light and truth, that's when we'll actually have world peace, is when more of us have inner peace. And I think we've talked about this before, but the path to world peace is a path of inner peace, one person at a time, one community at a time. So thank you for sharing this, Sebastian, because we tend to forget. We get caught up in our day. We get caught up in even in serving a purpose, even in serving love. We get caught up in our daily responsibilities, serving others, helping others find inner peace, helping others align and awaken and open their heart, helping, but sometimes as life happens outside of us, we forget to start our day with getting into that state of inner peace before we get out there. So I just wanted to share that because it is very important. It is very, very important for each of us individually and for everyone that we engage and interact in to cultivate that state of inner peace before we even get out there into the world on a daily basis. So thank you. Thank you, Sebastián, for that reminder.
And I thank you, Jennifer, for your presence and for bringing this to our dialogue. I know we are running out of time, but I'm going to be brief. Just listening to you, I remembered something that I would like to share, which was very important for me, and it is still very important every day. And I think it could be also valuable for others to share. And it is something that comes from our Divine Mother. She told me that in order to remain connected to our inner peace, it is important to integrate our limits, our limitations. We as human beings have limits. And you mentioned particularly those who are, serving through love to others, and particularly to them. This message is very important because sometimes we feel like we need to serve others and we do to push ourselves and do our best and be open to everyone and at any time. And then we became exhausted, or we got, like so tired that we don't want to talk to anyone else. We want to run away just because we trespassed our limits. So in order to remain in our inner peace, it is very important to be connected with our heart and to see whether we are, touching our limits. And if that's the case, our inner peace will ask us to say no. For instance, that can happen also to mothers or fathers who are taking care of the children, and they want to give the best and to be like a kind of Wonder Woman, in the house, doing everything, waking up early, cleaning up everything, and smiling at every time because they want to give the best. But sometimes we get exhausted because of that. So if we want to give the best, this is something that I learned. If I want to give the best to my daughters, to my neighbors, to my friends, or to this life, the best I can give is my inner peace, and to remain in that stage of inner peace that you mentioned before. And in order to do that, I have to be very, very aware of my limits and to respect that. So we don't, trespass those limits and lose our inner peace. I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's something that we sometimes forget. Our Divine Mother says, making efforts is okay, but not against losing your inner peace. When we lose our inner peace, we lost balance somehow. So thank you very much for allowing me to share that. And I know that some of you are going to be at the Refuge of Divine Love soon. And I would like to say you that we are so happy to receive you, and you are absolutely welcome to come. And that our Divine Mother is who moves you to come to the refuge of divine love. For those who are not familiar to this, when I talk about the refuge of divine love, I'm talking about the spiritual center that we have created in Argentina, in Delta Tigre, which is in an island in a delta. Here on the website, we have some images and all the information about that. And this is a place co-created by our Divine Mother with us. She inspired me in a vision to create this in this particular place. And this is co-created in collaboration with many brothers and sisters that are helping constantly to co-create this place. And this place is totally consecrated to the Divine Mother. So everyone who comes here is invited by her. And I live in this place with Miguel Bini, who is the co-founder of our foundation. And we feel ourselves and see ourselves as just servant of our Divine Mother for those who she brings to this place. And she said, when she gave me the inspiration to create this place, she said that she will move some brothers and sisters to come to this place so they can be connected to the inner peace through nature, through her presence, and through the love that they are going to experience here. So this is a portal of inner peace for those who want to come and to have the experience of being loved by our Divine Mother through us and through nature, and having the experience of resting in peace and joy. Joy is extremely important for our Divine Mother. She is so funny. So you will have not only love here and peace, as we know that, but you will also enjoy the beauty of this place, which is a natural place. It's a reserve, and so beautiful, and so many places to visit through the rivers, through the town, and we will do that as we always do with whenever comes here. So thank you for coming to the Refuge of Divine Love, and we are looking forward to sharing this experience of love with you. And you are absolutely invited to come whenever you want. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me and for giving me extra time to share this information with those who maybe don't know about this and they want to know about this gift coming from our Divine Mother. And now I invite you to remain one more minute in silence before saying goodbye and to listen to music that we can enjoy before finishing this session. Thank you. Thank you very much for co-creating this beautiful session. And I wish you have a wonderful day ahead. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for being who you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastián and everyone.
Much
Thank
love,
you.
Sebastián.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Sebastian, I sent you a message in your
You all.
text.
In my what?
In your text.
You sent me the message through WhatsApp?
Yes, your Foundation for Love text.
Yes. Okay. Shall I see it now or later on?
Sure, now would be great.
I mean, it's something that needs to be addressed now, or
No, it doesn't have to be addressed.
okay. I'm going to stop recording so we don't take time from others, and then I will answer that message. Thank you.